right, good morning, guys. I hope you have had a wonderful week. On my end, I have been super busy. This is one of the busiest times of the year for me and the group of people that have been with me for the past week now, working on a new film that we're filming together called, well, we don't have a name for it yet actually, but it is the sequel to I Am Israel. So if you want to know what project I'm working on, go ahead and go to the, or you can, in YouTube, just write I Am Israel trailer, and it will take you to the I Am Israel trailer for the first film that was made by David Kern, who is now in Israel. He's a world-renowned filmmaker from Tennessee and has made some pretty epic films. And now we are working on his next film together, and it's going to be an epic film. I'm telling you that right now. So aside from that, I need to give you a little bit of a, how would you say, a vlogging location promise that I made at the Dust and Stones here. If you're watching this vlog and you've been anticipating the next location. Okay, so for this week's vlog, I'm going to have to give you the location that I'm in this week actually for the filming. We're not filming on this location actually, but we're in very close proximity, so I decided, since I happened upon this location and looked up the history and learned for myself, because I've never been here actually. So Biblical Tamar is a really cool place. It's got a ton of history. Some suggest that this location goes all the way back to Abraham. So if you imagine Abraham, when he had been in this area roaming around, the Edomites were in this region, and so some believe that this is possibly formerly or originally an Edomite village. And so you're talking about during Abraham's time, but when it really came to prominence was during year 1000 BCE, during the kingdom of King David and Solomon. So Solomon fortified this place, and I can tell you from the little of archaeology that I've been learning through the tour guide course, I was actually proud from my studies that I was able to identify this as Solomonic period without reading any of the signs or the history. And I was telling the guys that I was with, I said, I think this is from the time of Solomon. I can tell by the fortifications, and I can tell by this room that's directly behind me, which is the 4-chambered room, which is also as well 6 chambers. So if you have an entry, this is the main entry into the city, and you can tell by the thickness of the walls, they're massively thick. I'll show you that in the footage. You have massively thick walls, which is basically telling me this is some type of monolithic structure built by a king or some prominent ruler in this region, not just some nomadic, how do you say, Bedouin encampment, but this is a real deal town, and it was fortified for a reason. So if you go in this direction that I'm pointing here to the southeast-ish, you're going to have Solomon's mines, his copper mines. And so the archaeologists believe, from what they found here, that this was a fortification, a strategic location along the trading route right here. Directly in front of me, you have the trading route that would have gone here, so it's to defend and to monitor the caravans that would go by here, and to defend the copper mines. In other words, you have soldiers here, you have a presence here, and if you need to, you send them to the copper mines and defend the operations there if needed. So it's showing strength and dominance, and this is the most southern stronghold, if you will, during the Israelite period, and during the time when the Israelites were taking the land, and then also they got King Shaul, so King Saul, King David, and then King Solomon. So it's during that rule period and the taking of the land and establishing themselves in the land as the ones who are conquering and ruling here, that you have this structure here that is proof and to those biblical accounts that we have. So the archaeology here is amazing. You also have from the 7th century BCE that were found to the north of me here. They were found idols that were smashed and destroyed. So some are also claiming and believing that this is part of the reform that King Josiah had done by his reformation of destroying all the idols in the strongholds, in the high places, in the important locations. And so they found that here as testament to possibly confirming the biblical account of what King Josiah did with his reform. All right, so right behind me here is the 4-room structure. Very, very common for the Israelite period, and part of the testament of this being what it is, believed to be, built up by the Israelites, and this is part of the testimony to that theory in what you see in the archaeology. So we have this right here, just outside the city walls here, that is probably built up in a later period by King Solomon, who had fortified the city and made it into one of the important trading route posts here in the most southern part of the Kingdom of Israel. So there you have it, guys. Ton of history. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Absolutely. You also have, during the Muslim period, that this place was also used during the Ottoman period and so on, all the way through the Ottoman period. So one last period before the modern Israel time period that we're in right now is the British, who came here in World War I. In 1917, they basically exchanged powers here with the Ottomans. They were able to drive out the Ottomans, who were here for 500 years, and then England took over control of this place and used this also for strategic purposes for their troops in the south and to further the war effort in World War I. So you have a lot of history here, guys. We went from Abraham to Solomon to the Muslim period up to the World War I and British period, and then today, well, this is one of Israel's southern locations here in the Negev, and you can come and visit here and see all this amazing history. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. We have a film to make. I actually have to run and go meet the director right now and work on the next scene. But this is what I wanted to try to give you guys, so you would have something and you wouldn't miss out this week on a vlog, because we're working on this filming project. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like and the bell if you want to keep updated on our latest vlog as they keep coming out every week. And shalom from Israel.